Packing for a trip can be one of the most stressful things you do when going on a trip. For one, there are so many things to consider, from how many days of clothes you'll need to pack, to the weather of your destination, and the activities you'll be doing. And if you'll be flying, figuring out which type of luggage you'll need and all the baggage fees that may need to be paid for the airline you'll be flying with. Then there's a risk of overpacking and forgetting crucial essentials. So in this video, I'm going to cover the 10 worst packing mistakes you can make so you can avoid them and set yourself up for a better trip. Let's go.
Dream vacations start here.
So the first packing mistake you should avoid making is assuming your accommodations will have what you need. Most hotels will have the basic toiletries, such as soap, shampoo, maybe even some lotions and mouthwash for higher-end hotels, but if you're going to be staying at a budget hotel, don't count on these items being available. Even some Airbnbs won't stock these items, so when you're making your packing list, check to see what amenities your hotel or vacation rental supplies to see what items you may need to pack for your trip. The second mistake to avoid is overpacking. If you're always prone to overpacking, then I have some tips for you that'll help. First, you should plan out your outfits ahead of time. When you take the time to do this and not just throw some clothes in your suitcase, you'll find that it'll save you a significant amount of space. Second, take things that you can wear more than once. If you can pack items of clothing that you can wear more than once, this is going to help you pack less clothes. You should also look to pack more tops than bottoms, since you can generally get away with wearing bottoms more than once. Another tip is to avoid packing more than 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. Shoes can take up a lot of space and add a lot of weight to your suitcase. Bring 1 pair to work out or walk in, another pair for casual day activities, and 1 pair to wear out during the evening. Another thing you want to avoid is packing items just in case. If you're packing something with the mindset that you should pack it just in case you need it, don't pack it. You'll rarely ever end up using it, so keep it out of your bag to save the space. The third mistake to avoid is counting on your carry-on. Unfortunately, as airlines continue to raise the price of checking a bag, more and more travelers are opting to save money by fitting everything into a carry-on. This in turn causes the overhead bin space to fill up fast, which means if you're one of the last people to board the plane, you could end up being forced to check your bag at the gate. If you have to unexpectedly check your suitcase and it gets lost, you could be stuck without your essentials like medication or clean clothing. So plan ahead and keep everything you need in flight in a separate personal item bag that will fit under your airline seat. The fourth mistake to avoid is not separating your liquids. If you're going to be traveling by airline, you don't want to have to dig out your bag of liquids from the bottom of your bag. Since TSA rules requires you to remove any liquids you'll be carrying onto the plane into a security bin, you want to have easy access to your quart-sized bag of liquids and not be that person who ends up holding up the security line. The same goes for any electronic devices larger than your cell phone. These will also need to be removed from your bag and placed in a security bin, so have them in an easy-to-get-to place. The fifth mistake people make when packing is forgetting to check the entire forecast. It's easy to just glance at the high temperatures for your destination and pick your outfits accordingly, but you should also pay attention to the low temperatures as well. Depending on where you're traveling to, it can be rather warm during the day, but once the sun goes down, the temperatures can drop quite a bit. So when you're packing, make sure you review the high and the low temperatures for the hours you plan to be out on your trip so that you'll know what to wear for the cold evenings and warm afternoons. The sixth mistake you might make is focusing on space and not on weight. It's easy to just pick a suitcase and fill it up with the things you need, but you also want to consider the weight of your bag. Most airlines have weight limits for check bags and even for carry-on bags as well, so it's important to know these weight limits so you're not having to pay an expensive overweight fee. Having a small luggage scale like this one is going to be key to keeping your bag from going over the weight limit. The seventh mistake is using the wrong bag. Backpacks, rolling suitcases, and even duffel bags have their pros and cons, so it's crucial to determine which option will be best for your trip. Rolling or spinner suitcases are a great choice if you know you'll be navigating multiple airports and walking long distances. They can help prevent strain on your back and are much easier to move around. Backpacks and duffel bags can be good if you know you'll be walking over cobblestone sidewalks or climbing numerous flights of stairs, as they will allow for greater mobility. They also allow for greater flexibility in terms of storage, and even if your bag is slightly over the size requirement, you could easily shrink down the size of your backpack or duffel bag by not filling your bag completely full, which will allow you to squeeze your bag into those carry-on bag sizers you see at the airport. The eighth mistake is forgetting to leave a bit of extra space. It can be tempting to fill every inch of available space in your suitcase, but it's best to resist this urge. Depending on what you're wearing on the first day of your trip, you may find that repacking your suitcase for your return flight is a bit of a challenge. For instance, you may want to wear a different, less bulky outfit on your last travel day and will need extra space in your suitcase to pack what you wore on the journey over. Or you may want to purchase souvenirs or other items on your trip. In either case, having extra room in your suitcase will ensure you're able to store these extra items. The ninth mistake is not packing extra essentials. This is especially true if you'll be checking a bag. While the idea of packing light and bringing only the bare essentials can be appealing, it's important to factor in potential flight delays or cancellations that can leave you stranded without access for essential items like medications, contact lenses, or even an extra pair of clothes. To avoid the worst case scenario happening to you, always pack a few days worth of essentials as a backup. And then the 10th mistake is not using a luggage tracker. I think that we can all agree that having your luggage go missing after a flight is one of the worst things that can happen to you. That's why I recommend putting a luggage tracker like an Apple AirTag or similar in your suitcase every time you fly. You may have even seen the story of a woman whose luggage went missing, only to find out that her luggage was stolen by an airport employee and she was able to track it down using a luggage tracker. While this is a very rare occurrence, it's better to rely on a tracker to help find your luggage rather than solely on the airline. And hey, if you've been thinking about taking an international trip soon and want a complete step-by-step guide on how to plan for one, check out the International Trip Planning Toolkit that I have personally created to help make that dream trip a reality. Check out the link in the video description for more information. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in a future video.